Everyone, my name is Tom Rochford, and I am the manager of learning solutions here at HR Downloads. As a learning designer for the better part of my career, one place I always look for insight is in the past. This is why we put together this series of videos to help you learn a little bit more from past pandemics, take those lessons, apply them into the future, and bring a little bit more certainty into your lives. For this third lesson, I want to kick it off with a story that really links to the background image you can see on the screen here. So let me clear up this mask. There we go. So the story goes, a small boy was walking along a beach at low tide, where countless thousands of small sea creatures, having been washed up, were stranded and doomed to perish. A man watched as the boy picked up individual creatures and took them back into the water. I can see you're being very kind, said the watching man. But there must be a million of them. It can't possibly make any difference. Returning from the water's edge, the boy said, it will for that one. I think that really speaks to the last lesson, and that's acting with purpose. And what do we mean here? Well, it's pretty simple, and we're seeing it from companies all over the world. During the COVID-19 crisis, we've seen some truly incredible Canadian founded companies doing some truly incredible Canadian things. Take Bauer, for example. In the dire need for personal protective equipment, they signed up early to develop face shields for frontline medical workers. I just saw on social media the other day an executive reaching out to the community and saying we need to create 100 jobs to support this effort. Who knows what's going to happen when this is all over? But perhaps Bauer has secured a new line of revenue with this product, produced out of a desire to act with purpose. After the H1N1 epidemic in 2009 and in response to other influenza outbreaks and epidemics, Johnson & Johnson announced they were making major investments into finding a universal flu vaccine. In 2017, Johnson & Johnson officially partnered with the Health and Human Services Group in the United States to develop a comprehensive set of vaccines for all influenza strains, and their work continues to this day. And I think a lot of us will remember SARS Fest with the Stones and Guests in Toronto, sponsored by Molson Canadian. This is a great example of how an organization showed purpose after the crisis ended and also helped create demand for the local economy and their own product. Before we wrap, remember that the priority during the pandemic is everyone's health and safety, so that should be the first and most paramount concern. If your organization is still open and providing essential goods and services, look for ways to support frontline medical staff any way you can while still obeying health authority guidelines. If you've moved your organization to remote work, talk to your clients virtually. For our HR leaders, talk to your employees constantly. Understand the pains that they're feeling, but also what their communities are feeling. We really want to make sure that we're in touch with our local communities as much as possible here. Our blog is a great example of a public and free source of information to help guide your peers, your employees, your partners through this. Curate other resources for them and shoot it their way. If you're an organization who is going to thrive through this, then consider providing payment deferral plans for your cash-strapped customers. Doing so will not only show that you just don't see them as customers, but as partners. And in this scary time, the more partnerships we have, the better. We actually have a blog article entitled How to Partner Locally and Give Back During Uncertain Times. Make sure to check that out if you're looking for some ideas. Our head of marketing, Ryan Van Horn, takes you through a few ideas and will really help spur some innovation and some ideation on your end. But don't get it wrong, this is a generational event that will bring monumental forces of change. Stay in tune with futurists like Amy Webb from Stern Business School at NYU or Ray Kurzweil from MIT as they sort through the data and provide their insights about what these forces of change will be. More importantly, however, is to start scenario planning and start it as soon as possible. Think about the potential recovery options and their impact on you and your organization. How will you fit in to the different recovery scenarios? How will your organization fit in? We can expect similar efforts to what we saw in Toronto after SARS. So determine a plan for contributing to these efforts and do it as soon as you can. And remember the little boy in the story at the beginning of this lesson. He was saving one creature at a time. It will for that one. I love that. That's the motto we all should bring into this recovery. That's the end of this video, and we sincerely hoped you grabbed some insights that brought a bit more certainty into your lives during this incredibly uncertain time. Our team at HR Downloads is working hard to consume and analyze the most up-to-date events relating to the pandemic. We're all working really hard, but safely, to contextualize those events and provide thoughtful analysis, build useful templates, and remember, we're always here to support you all during this time. From all of us at HR Downloads, thank you for taking the time. Stay strong and stay healthy.